In Kenya, feeds in dairy farming account for over 65% to the cost per litre of milk produced. This is prohibitive for many farmers seeking to upscale their farms. To address this, continuous training on good agricultural practices from seed to feed management for farmers, agricultural contractors and commercial forage producers is important. In a field day event organized by Nyundoroto Agricultural Contractors, Agri-Harvesting, Feed and Fodder and SNV under the Kenya Market-Led Dairy Program KMDP, the event brought together over 350 farmers and other stakeholders from Uasin Gishu, Kitale, Nandi, Mau, Narok and even Meru County to network and learn about land preparation for growing maize for forage and how to make high-quality silage for feeding their cows.
The reason for the field day, why we decided to hold that field day, is because there are many farmers who are now going into commercial dairy. They require a lot of silage, maize silage. The way farmers produce silage, they're using the old methods of land preparation. So the field day was to demonstrate to the farmers the current good practices of producing milk by the right land preparation methods.
So what needs to be done when preparing land to plant maize for silage making?
Talking about land preparation, there are several steps that come into place. One, we start by shredding of the maize stalks and the weeds that actually have grown in the field to clear the field. We come in with a chisel plow to break in the hard pan and actually maintain the soil structure so that we don't disrupt the naturally the microorganisms that are in the soil or expose the soil to the sun. After that, we go to seed bed preparation. We can either use use a cultivator or a harrow. Going by that, after preparing the seed bed, we can now come in with a planter. Now, the efficiency of a planter is that you are quite sure of how many seeds or how many kilos of seeds you are planting in the field. So that is, and also it also improves in terms of the speed of planting.
To make forage maize growing and silage making affordable, companies such as Nyundoroto and Agri-Harvesting Contractors are exclusively providing professional maize production and silage making services to farmers. The expertise on conservation agriculture, maize harvesting and chopping, and silage pit design and preparation reduces the burden for farmers given the processes involved. Due to the state-of-the-art machinery deployed and the speed of work, the quality of silage is also superior. So what exactly happens?
Nyundoroto Contractor, we are agricultural contractors. We provide services from land preparation, seedbed preparation and planting, maize planting and wheat. We also provide crop protection services, that is boom spraying. From boom spraying, we come into fertilizer application of top dressing to the crops. After that, we come into forage harvesting. That comes in maize silage. So as Nyundoroto Farm, we are professionally contractors. We don't engage in any other farm activity. We only provide services through the agricultural equipment.
Once the maize is ready for harvesting, the whole plant with the combs are chopped and ensiled. This can be done on farm in a silage pit or bunker for the farmer to feed his own cows, or it can be packaged in vacuum-sealed 350 kilogram bales for sale to dairy farms elsewhere in the country who lack enough land to grow and ensile their own forages. Companies such as Feed and Fodder have stepped in to provide professional silage baling services. The bales are easy to transport and have a long shelf life if not damaged.
I think people are longing more and more for knowledge to do professional silage making and also commercial silage making, because they see it as an opportunity to vary from the normal business of selling dry maize, maybe other crops. They really look at us as being an important player to assist them in business also.
Farmers learn to determine proper dimensions of the silage pit or bunker and how to assure good compaction and coverage for optimum preservation and nutrition value of the silage. They were also trained on how to maintain quality after opening the pit and for feeding out the silage to their cows.
What makes it a good silage is the farmer has ensured that this silage is located in a dry place and a raised place, that there is no water logging. Apart from that, the farmer has ensured that when he brought the silage here, it is well compacted, as you can see. My hand cannot go through. Even if I kick it, it is well compacted. And also the farmer has used a good plastic on top. He has used one sheet of plastic that covers from end to end. And over and above that, the farmer has put a layer of soil on top, which continues to exert pressure on the silage. Apart from that, the farmer has done a trench around the pit. This trench is to prevent the silage from getting waterlogged. That is to keep away the water from seeping into the silage so that it always stays dry. And also the farmer has, as you can see, he has fenced off the silage pit. So there are no animals coming into this area. So the animals are always kept away. So that keeps this silage much more done in a professional way.
In a keynote address by Harry Kimtai, the Principal Secretary, State Department of Livestock at the Ministry of Agriculture, Livestock, Fisheries and Irrigation, he urged maize farmers from Uasin Gishu County to diversify into planting maize and other forages for silage making in the wake of fluctuating maize grain prices.
Wakulima wa Uasin Gishu, changamoto mmekuwa naye. Nataka niwashukuru kwa sababu mambo ya mahindi Uasin Gishu is leading, and we must appreciate Uasin Gishu. Is one of the bread basket county ya Kenya. Tumeona vile mnalia mambo ya mahindi. Tunakubali bei ya mahindi imeshuka. Lakini sasa muko na njia nyingine pia ya kupata pesa kupitia haya mashamba yenu. Na tunasema kwamba hii teknolojia mpya ambayo ya silage making ambayo it's being introduced now in this country, and specifically Uasin Gishu County, is going to help you in terms of realizing the same income from your farms, even if you are not supplying cereals or maize to the cereals board. Ukiangalia sehemu za county zingine kama Kiambu, Kisii, Vihiga, they are here. And I will also want to challenge you. When you do your tours to those counties, look at the acreage and look at the productivity in terms of if it is 2 acres, how much is that farmer realizing from it? Compare with you with the big acreage. You have an advantage. You are now able to sell because what we are doing, we are commercializing this silage process. Nataka iuzwe kule Vihiga, iuzwe kule Meru, iuzwe kule Kiambu, ili pia sehemu hiyo wakati wanashughulika na mambo ya ng'ombe wawe na chakula ya kutosha.
This was further emphasized by Margaret Kibogi, the Managing Director at the Kenya Dairy Board.
When we do a lot of research in the dairy sector, especially on cost of production, feed contributes to the highest cost of production, and it is a big challenge. Besides being the highest, very expensive, there's also issues of good quality feed. And if we take home what we learn through this kind of partnership of training the farmers, we'll be able to improve and be able to bring down the cost of production.
To fast-track development of the dairy sector, private partnerships between Kenyan and Dutch-based companies and other stakeholders will be instrumental in spurring innovations and growth. Several Dutch firms have set shop or partnered with local firms.
We are very happy and encouraged as a government to see that we, through this program, private sector is also coming on board into this dairy farming. And this is something that the government has lacked. We've not been able to attract the private sector into dairy farming. We've left dairy farming to a smallholder, and therefore the smallholder has its own challenges. The smallholder is not able to buy some of this, to invest in some of this machinery that you have seen here today. But we are saying that with the private sector, they can come on board and support the smallholder for the purpose of increasing productivity in their farms.
We have to bring the dairy sector to a more professional level, especially on dairy farm management. And dairy farm management is not only handling the cows, but it is also that you are able to produce good quality forages. And this field day shows that all. Yeah? And that doesn't mean that all the farmers have to do it themselves. That's also why you have a contractor Yeah, they can do it also, but very often that's also a kind of relationship between dairy farm and the contractors.
There was also a panel discussion on other issues cross-cutting the sector. One of the key issues discussed was the absence of specially bred maize forage species in the Kenyan market. Whereas in other countries, forage maize is readily available, in Kenya, dairy farmers still have to resort to commercial maize that is not ideal for making silage due to its low digestibility of the stem and leaves and unfavorable stem-to-comb ratio and other characteristics for commercial maize. And what do farmers make of this event?
I'm a dairy farmer, and the equipments that we found in the field, the new technologies being advanced. I think if I can go with the knowledge that I've actually gotten from this place, it will advance me in the farming sector.
This training has been an eye-opener for me. Being a consultant, we've been able to identify some of the problems that are affecting most of the farmers. Something interesting is that silage can be baled also. You notice that where I come from, farmers are small-scale farmers. So sometimes you find that they ensile and then the silage just finishes in the middle. So I've realized that you can be able to package silage and sell to farmers. So that has been an eye-opener. Another thing, as a consultant, I've really learned a lot based on silage making, the techniques, the correct harvesting time, encouraging farmers to lower their costs in terms of production so that they can be able to get more profit. So it has been amazing for me.
From today's training and today's field day, I've learned much. One, I need to improve on my size of the silage, the chop size of the silage that I prepare in my farm. I need to improve on it. Two, and I'm very much encouraged to see that there is one low harvester that can also be used in Meru County. Despite of our pieces of land being small, we can have the one low harvester that you can use to chop our maize.
As the dairy sector shapes up to the growing demand of milk and milk products, regular stakeholder engagement and field learning forums as this will steer the sector in the right direction towards the Big Four agenda, the private sector development agenda of SNV and the Embassy of the Kingdom of the Netherlands, and Sustainable Development Goal number 2 on ending hunger. For a detailed 12-step guideline on forage maize production from seed to feed and about SNV's Kenya Market-Led Dairy Program, visit www.cowsoko.com/KMDP.